What if everything you believe about success is wrong? Think about it for a moment. From the time we were children, we were told stories about what success should look like. We were told that if we study hard, get good grades, land a prestigious job, and earn a good salary, we will be successful. We were told that success means driving a nice car, living in a big house, and having a life that others admire. But have you ever stopped to question whether those beliefs are truly yours, or whether they were handed down to you by society, family, and culture? Imagine for a moment that you wake up one day and realize that all those things you were chasing don't actually fulfill you. You got the job, you earned the money, you achieved the milestones, and yet there's a void. There's a whisper inside you that says, "Is this it? Is this what success really means?" This question haunts more people than you might realize, and yet very few dare to confront it. Success has become one of the most misunderstood concepts in our world. People think it's about climbing ladders, collecting titles, or proving something to others. But what if success isn't about accumulation at all? What if success is about subtraction, removing the lies, the false expectations, the illusions we've been conditioned to believe? Take a look around. Some of the wealthiest people on the planet are also some of the most miserable. Some of the most admired celebrities battle with depression and emptiness behind closed doors. And on the other hand, you might meet a simple farmer, a street vendor, or a teacher who radiates joy and peace every single day. How is it possible that someone with less achievement by society's standards can actually feel more successful than the person with everything? Maybe it's because success isn't what we were told it is. Here's a thought. Success is deeply personal. It cannot be measured by the standards of society alone. True success cannot be borrowed from someone else's definition. It must be discovered within. That's why so many people chase external validation but still feel empty. They are living by a script written by someone else, not by themselves. If you truly want to succeed in life, you must first challenge the beliefs you hold about success. You must ask yourself, who taught me that success looks like this? Was it my parents, my teachers, the media, my peers? Or was it me? Because until you define success for yourself, you'll always be living someone else's dream. Now let's pause for a moment and reflect on this together. If you're watching this video right now, I invite you to take a deep breath and ask yourself honestly, what does success mean to me? Not what it means to society, not what it means to your neighbor, not even what it means to your parents. What does it mean to you? That question alone could change the direction of your life. And while you reflect, let me remind you, this channel is here to help you uncover truths like this, truths that free you from illusions and empower you to create a life that truly matters. If you find value in what you're hearing so far, make sure to subscribe and join this journey with us. Because together, we're not just chasing success. We're redefining it. Now, let's go deeper. Why do we believe so strongly in the wrong ideas of success? The answer lies in conditioning. From the earliest stages of life, we're shaped by external forces. We're told stories of the successful ones, the CEOs, the movie stars, the politicians, the innovators who made it big. They're paraded as role models. And while there's nothing wrong with admiring great accomplishments, the problem is that we often absorb the image without questioning whether it fits our own life path. For example, a child who loves drawing might be told by parents, "That's a nice hobby, but you can't succeed as an artist. Be a doctor, be an engineer, be something secure." And so, the child buries their passion in pursuit of what's acceptable. Years later, they may be financially stable, but spiritually starving. They may have achieved success by the world's standards, but failed by their soul's standards. This is the hidden tragedy of our time. Too many people are climbing ladders that are leaning against the wrong wall. And when they reach the top, they realize the view isn't worth it. That's why midlife crises happen. That's why burnout is everywhere. That's why so many people achieve what they thought they wanted, only to feel lost and disillusioned afterward. So let's ask the difficult question. If everything you believe about success is wrong, then what is right? Here's a radical idea. Success is not about what you accumulate, it's about who you become. Success is not about the trophies, but about the transformation. It's not about proving something to others, but about fulfilling something within yourself. Think about it. If you win awards but lose yourself in the process, is that success? If you build wealth but destroy your health, is that success? If you climb to the top but feel lonely when you get there, is that success? The truth is, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Let me share with you a simple but powerful story. There was once a businessman who worked tirelessly to build his empire. He barely spent time with his family, rarely took care of his health, and sacrificed his joy for the sake of financial gain. One day, after decades of relentless work, he looked around and realized he had no one to share his wealth with. His children were distant, his health was failing, and his heart was heavy with regret. He had achieved everything society told him would make him successful, but he had lost the things that truly mattered. That's when he understood, success is hollow without meaning. On the other hand, there was a school teacher in a small village who lived simply. She didn't have riches, nor did she have fame, but she loved her students deeply. She inspired them, nurtured them, and helped them see their own potential. At her funeral, hundreds of students gathered to honor her memory, each one testifying that she had changed their lives. She may not have been on the cover of magazines, but she lived a life of deep purpose. Tell me, who was more successful? You see, the truth about success is that it's not measured in bank accounts or titles, it's measured in meaning, in purpose, in joy. Now, here's the challenge. Are you ready to let go of the lies you've been told about success? Are you willing to question them, to dismantle them, to discover your own definition? Because until you do, you'll always be chasing shadows. Take this as a call. Start defining success on your own terms. Write it down, reflect on it, and live by it. And if you're ready for that journey, stay with me in this video, because we're about to dive even deeper into the myths of success and uncover what it truly takes to live a life worth remembering. Let's go even deeper. Why is it so hard to let go of the wrong beliefs about success? The answer is simple, because they're comfortable. They give us a script, a roadmap, even if it's not truly ours. Following society's definition of success feels safe because it comes with approval. It comes with applause. When you achieve what everyone else recognizes as success, people nod their heads, clap their hands, and say, "Well done." And as human beings, we crave recognition. But here's the trap. External recognition doesn't always equal internal satisfaction. In fact, the two are often at odds. How many times have you done something to impress others, only to feel nothing on the inside? How many times have you accomplished a goal, but secretly felt it wasn't aligned with who you really are? That's because recognition can be deceiving. Let's pause for a second and reflect. Who are you living for right now? Are you living for the applause of others, or for the quiet peace of knowing you're walking your own path? This is not a small question, it's the foundation of everything. Because if your life is built on the foundation of others' expectations, then your success will always belong to them, not to you. You see, success without self-awareness is like building a house on sand. It might look impressive for a while, but eventually it will crumble. Self-awareness is the key. It's the act of asking yourself, why am I doing this? Who am I becoming in this process? Does this path honor who I am, or am I betraying myself just to fit in? And here's the truth. Most people never stop to ask these questions. They're too busy chasing the next promotion, the next paycheck, the next trophy. They are sprinting in a race they never even chose to enter. And when they finally stop running, they realize they've been moving in the wrong direction all along. But you're here, listening to this, which means you're different. You're willing to question. You're willing to reflect. And that already sets you apart from the majority. Because the ones who pause to question their path are the ones who eventually find the courage to change it. Now let's talk about one of the greatest lies about success, the lie of more. Society has conditioned us to believe that success equals more money, more possessions, more recognition, more status. But here's the paradox: more doesn't always bring better. In fact, more often brings burden. Think of the people who constantly buy more cars, more houses, more gadgets, only to feel trapped by their own possessions. They have more, but they're not free. They have more, but they're not happy. More can become a prison. Because true success isn't about adding, it's about aligning. Aligning your life with your values, your passions, your truth. There's a beautiful simplicity in redefining success as alignment instead of accumulation. Ask yourself, does my life align with who I truly am? Do my actions align with my values? Do my goals align with my heart? Because if the answer is yes, then you're already more successful than half the world, even if you don't have the things they consider important. And let me remind you, you don't need to wait until society validates your version of success. You don't need to wait until others approve. Real freedom begins when you stop waiting. If you're resonating with this right now, don't just watch passively. Engage with this message. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment about what success means to you and subscribe. If you haven't already, this isn't just a channel, it's a community of people rewriting the definition of success together. You're not alone in this journey. Now, let's expose another myth, the myth of comparison. One of the most toxic habits we fall into is comparing our lives to others. We look at someone else's highlight reel on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and we think, they're more successful than me. But comparison is poison. It blinds you to your own path. Think about it. No two people have the same story, the same background, the same challenges, the same calling. So why would success look the same for everyone? It's like comparing an apple to a mountain. Both are valuable in their own way, but they cannot be measured by the same scale. Yet, comparison runs deep. It eats away at self-worth. It convinces you that you're behind, that you're not good enough, that you should be somewhere else by now. But the truth is, you're not behind, you're on your own timeline. And the moment you embrace that, you liberate yourself from the prison of comparison. Here's something to remember. Success is not a race, it's a rhythm. Each person has their own rhythm, their own pace. Some people bloom early, others bloom later. But every bloom is beautiful in its own time. Stop comparing your rhythm to someone else's beat. Instead, focus inward. Ask yourself, am I moving forward according to my own rhythm? Am I growing into the person I'm meant to be? That's what matters. Success is not about outpacing others. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And here's where the shift happens. Once you let go of comparison, you realize something profound. There is no one way to be successful. There are infinite ways, and each one is valid, as long as it's authentic to you. So maybe success for one person is building a billion-dollar company, while success for another is raising a loving family. Maybe success for one is traveling the world, while for another it's cultivating a peaceful garden. Neither is right or wrong. It's about what feels true to the person living it. The problem is, society often elevates certain types of success, usually the flashy, external ones, while ignoring the quiet, internal ones. But don't be fooled. Quiet success is just as powerful, if not more so, because it's rooted in peace. So here's the challenge for you right now. Redefine success for yourself. Write it down. Not in vague terms, but in clear, specific language. Write what it means to you, even if no one else understands it. That is the first step to living authentically. And remember, when you live authentically, you become magnetic. People sense it. They feel it. You inspire others, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're simply being true to yourself. We've exposed the myths of more and comparison. But there's another lie that silently shapes how we see success. The myth of speed. Society has convinced us that success must come quickly. We glorify the overnight success stories, the self-made millionaires at 25, the entrepreneurs who build empires in record time. But here's the truth. Behind every overnight success you see, there are often years, sometimes decades of unseen effort, failure, and persistence. The highlight reel hides the process, and because we don't see the process, we start believing that if success doesn't happen quickly, then we're failing. We rush, we panic. We pressure ourselves to achieve everything by yesterday. But true success rarely comes at the speed of a sprint. It comes at the rhythm of patience, consistency, and resilience. Think of nature. A seed doesn't turn into a tree overnight. It takes seasons, storms, and sunlight. Growth is invisible for a while, but beneath the soil, roots are forming. In the same way, your journey might not show results immediately, but that doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Success is often built underground, where no one can see it. So let me ask you, are you willing to trust the process, even when it's slow? Are you willing to keep watering the seed, even when nothing seems to sprout yet? Because if you are, you're already ahead of the majority who quit before the harvest comes. And here's another trap: the idea that success is a straight line. That once you start, you'll just keep going up and up. But anyone who has walked the path of growth knows that success is messy. It's filled with setbacks, detours, failures, and lessons. It's not a straight line. It's a spiral, a dance, sometimes even a fall. But every fall carries wisdom if you're willing to learn from it. The problem is, many people quit when they hit their first wall. They interpret struggle as a sign they're on the wrong path, when in fact, struggle is often a sign they're exactly where they need to be. You don't build strength without resistance. You don't build wisdom without mistakes. And you don't build success without failures along the way. So instead of asking, how fast can I succeed? Ask, how deeply can I grow while I walk this path? That shift alone changes everything. Because success is not a race against time, it's a lifelong journey of becoming. Now, let's talk about another powerful shift. Moving from success as achievement to success as contribution. You see, when success is only about you, your money, your status, your fame, it eventually feels shallow. But when success becomes about what you can give, how you can serve, how you can uplift others, it transforms into something greater. Think of the people we admire most in history, not just for their achievements, but for their contributions. Leaders, teachers, inventors, visionaries, they left a mark because their success wasn't only about themselves. It was about impact. And here's the paradox. When you focus on contribution instead of recognition, true recognition finds you anyway. People are drawn to those who give. Fulfillment grows when you shift the question from what can I get to what can I give. So ask yourself right now, how can my version of success serve not only me but also others? How can my journey inspire, uplift, or empower the people around me? Because when success and service merge, life becomes meaningful. If you're starting to see success differently right now, that's powerful. And if you want to keep growing with these ideas, remember to stay connected. Don't just watch, take part. Drop your definition of success in the comments. Share this message with a friend, and let's keep building this movement together. Now let's explore a truth that most people avoid. Success requires sacrifice. But here's the catch: sacrifice doesn't mean giving up your joy or your soul. It means choosing what matters most. Too many people sacrifice the wrong things. They sacrifice health, relationships, and peace for the sake of external success. And then they wake up realizing they gave up the very things that make life beautiful. Real sacrifice is not about losing yourself. It's about letting go of distractions, illusions, and false paths so you can make room for what truly matters. It's not about working yourself to death. It's about working with purpose, cutting away the noise, and protecting your energy for the things that count. So success requires asking, what am I willing to let go of? And what am I never willing to sacrifice? Because knowing both is essential. You might let go of comfort, excuses, or temporary pleasures, but you should never sacrifice your values, your integrity, or your soul. That is not success, that is defeat dressed as victory. Here's a reflection. Exercise. Imagine you achieve all the goals you've set but you lose your inner peace. Would you still call it success? Imagine you gain admiration from millions but feel empty at night. Would that be success? Imagine you collect all the trophies but never feel proud of who you are becoming. Would that be success? The answer is clear. Without peace, without alignment, without joy, it's not success, it's a hollow shell. And this brings us to one of the greatest secrets of success: balance. Not balance in the sense of dividing your time equally among everything, but balance in the sense of harmony, living in a way where your outer achievements and inner life are not at war, but at peace. This is where true power lies, in living a life where you don't have to pretend, don't have to impress, don't have to hide. A life where who you are on the outside matches who you are on the inside. That's freedom. That's fulfillment. That's success we've talked about. Balance, contribution, sacrifice, and the myths that shape our view of success. But there's another critical truth that often gets overlooked. Success is not a destination, it's a state of being. Think about how most people live. They tell themselves, when I graduate, then I'll be successful. When I get that job, then I'll be successful. When I earn that amount of money, then I'll be successful. When I retire, then I'll finally enjoy life. They live in the future, always chasing a moving target. But the future has a strange way of never arriving, the way we expect it to. If you constantly postpone your sense of success to some distant milestone, you may spend your entire life chasing without ever arriving. That's why so many people who make it still feel unfulfilled, because their mind was trained to always look ahead, never to arrive. The real question is, what if success is not something you achieve one day, but something you embody every day? What if success is not about the then, but about the now? Pause for a moment and let that sink in. Success is not out there, it's in here. It's not in the next goal, it's in how you live this moment. It's in whether you are aligned with your values right now, whether you are growing right now, whether you are living with integrity right now. This doesn't mean you stop setting goals. It means you stop postponing your life until you reach them. It means you allow yourself to live successfully today, not just someday. Let's break this down. Imagine two people. The first one says, I'll be successful once I become a millionaire. They work hard, sacrifice everything, and eventually reach that milestone. But when they do, they set another milestone. Now I need 10 million. The bar keeps moving. They're never satisfied, because success for them is always one step ahead. The second person says, I define success as living aligned with my purpose every day. For them, success is in the process, not just the outcome. They still pursue goals, but they also feel successful while working toward them. Every step of the journey is success, not just the final step. Who do you think lives a richer life? The truth is, success as a destination will always leave you empty. But success as a state of being will always fill you, because it's available here and now. Now let's explore another important shift. Success is not about control, it's about adaptability. Many of us believe that in order to be successful, we need to control everything, our environment, our outcomes, even other people. But life doesn't work like that. No matter how much we plan, life will throw unexpected challenges. Jobs will be lost, relationships will change, health will fluctuate, markets will crash, opportunities will disappear. If success depends on controlling everything, then success will always be fragile. The most successful people are not those who control everything, but those who adapt to anything. They bend without breaking. They shift without losing themselves. They don't resist change, they flow with it, learn from it, and grow through it. Think of bamboo in a storm. A rigid tree might snap, but bamboo bends and survives. Real success is like bamboo. It's flexible, resilient, and unshaken by the winds of life. So let me ask you, how adaptable are you? When life surprises you, do you resist and break, or do you bend and learn? Because your ability to adapt will define your success more than your ability to control. And this brings us to another hidden truth. Success is not solitary, it's relational. Society often paints the picture of the lone genius, the self-made person who did it all on their own. But in reality, no one succeeds alone. Every success story is woven with relationships, mentors who guided, friends who supported, communities who inspired, even critics who challenged. If your version of success isolates you from others, it will eventually feel hollow. Because human beings are wired for connection. Joy grows when it's shared. Purpose deepens when it impacts others. Love multiplies when it's given away. That's why one of the greatest measures of success is not just what you build, but the relationships you nurture along the way. Did you love deeply? Did you connect authentically? Did you leave people better than you found them? These questions matter more than the trophies on your shelf. Now, let's pause again. Take a deep breath. Reflect on your own life. How are your relationships? Are you nurturing them or neglecting them in pursuit of something else? Because at the end of life, very few people wish they had worked more. Most people wish they had loved more, connected more, lived more. Don't wait until the end to realize that truth. And here's another layer. Success isn't about being perfect, it's about being authentic. The pressure to be flawless often drives people into pretending, hiding their true selves behind masks of achievement. But the irony is, the world doesn't connect to your perfection, it connects to your authenticity. People resonate with your truth, your vulnerability, your humanity. If you want true success, dare to be yourself. Dare to be real, even when it's messy. Dare to admit mistakes, to learn openly, to show the world who you truly are. Because in the long run, authenticity outshines perfection every time. And if you're feeling this message right now, take a second to ground it. Don't just listen, act. Share in the comments one belief about success that you're ready to let go of. It might inspire someone else to let go too. And if you're not yet part of this community, subscribe now and grow with us. We're building something meaningful together. Now let's end this part with a question that changes everything. What if success is not about what you achieve at all, but about how much peace you carry within? Because in the end, peace is the highest success. Peace with yourself, peace with your path, peace with your choices. You can have all the riches in the world, but if you have no peace, you have nothing. You can lose everything material, but if you still have peace, you still have everything. We've traveled far in this reflection together. We've challenged the myths of success: more comparison, speed, control, perfection. We've seen that success isn't about trophies, applause, or even the number of zeros in your bank account. It's about something deeper. It's about who you are becoming, the peace you carry within, the love you give, and the authenticity you live by. So let's ask again, what if everything you believe about success is wrong? What if success is not about outpacing others, but about aligning with yourself? What if success is not about accumulation, but about contribution? What if success is not about how fast you climb, but about how deeply you grow? What if success is not about the destination, but about the way you walk the path each day. If that's true, then success is not something far away, it's something you can live today, right now, in this moment. Success is in the courage to define your own path, in the discipline to stay true to it, and in the peace that comes from knowing you are living authentically. Now imagine what your life could look like if you embraced this definition. Imagine waking up each day, not with the pressure of meeting society's standards, but with the joy of walking your own. Imagine measuring your life not by numbers, but by meaning. Imagine leaving behind not just possessions, but a legacy of impact, kindness, and truth. That is success. Quiet, powerful, real. And here's the challenge I want to leave you with. From today forward, refuse to live by someone else's script. Take back your definition. Write it down, live it, protect it, and let it guide your choices. Because at the end of your life, no one else's definition will matter, only yours. Now, if you've come this far with me, you are already different from most. You're willing to question, to reflect, to grow. That's why I want you to take this moment and act. Don't just let these words pass by. Engage with them. Write in the comments, my new definition of success is. Fill in the blank with your truth. It might inspire someone else. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and join this journey. This isn't about chasing illusions. This is about building lives of depth, meaning, and freedom. By subscribing, you're not just watching videos, you're becoming part of a community that's redefining success for a new generation. Finally, share this video with someone you care about. Because success is not meant to be hoarded, it's meant to be multiplied. And maybe this message could change the life of someone you love. So, as we close, I leave you with this thought. True success is not about being remembered by many, it's about being remembered by the right ones for the right reasons. It's not about living forever in the minds of strangers, it's about living fully in the moment, in peace, in truth. And that, my friend, is the ultimate success.